Welcome back to the Outspoken Patriot. This is the creator and the host of the show, Michael Kinnett. Of course, I want to start by thanking all of you for tuning in to our fourth episode. Oh, and happy Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Remember that the great American Mr. King said, "Peace is not merely a distant goal that we seek, but a means by which we arrive at that goal." So, if you're still standing with those who burned down our cities over the past couple years, I guess you didn't listen to this great man very well. Now, with that being said, I guess I have already started our conversation for this episode, which is the far left and the far right. How can we as Americans restore our great country and unite together? Do you remember when both left and right were closer to the middle? And by middle, I don't mean that we almost agreed on everything, but to where you didn't completely freak out when someone from the other party was elected. I think it all started when we let feelings come before facts, especially when we threw away our values. This kind of goes back to last week's episode where we discussed how the left, now I'm talking about the far left or the radical left, has basically destroyed everything they've touched. You can't say certain things because someone will take it away that you didn't even know was possible, or a label will be placed on you for the rest of your life by the woke mob. But what about the far right? Here at the Outspoken Patriot, we support conservative values, a strong family, and especially an upstanding citizen. Someone who has class and represents the American dream. Believe it or not, when you put President Trump before your country, well, you are just as bad for this land as Nancy Pelosi and the genius AOC. Now, I'm a supporter of President Trump, but my country comes before any politician, and God comes way before my country. Same goes for those who vote for the left. If you vote simply because your parents voted for Democrats, or because you don't like someone's personality, even though their policies align with yours, you are not voting to strengthen your country. You are putting motives that align with a political party above your nation's well-being. I just saw, well, I think it was last week, a great quote by Mark Twain. He says, "Patriotism is supporting your country and your government when it deserves it." Exactly. We have seen time and time again where governments have failed their citizens, even moments in their history where the government has gone completely insane. An extreme example would be Nazi Germany, and a more recent example can be looked at by what's happening in Australia. I'm sure that all citizens of these two countries love their homeland and their nation, but their government failed them and is currently failing them. I think a great example that we can all look at is the election of 2020. Many people voted against Donald Trump because they didn't like how he talked. They mostly voted against him because the media labeled him as the big bad orange man. Now you hear about people complaining about Joe Biden because their lives are actually being affected. This is one area where our nation needs to improve at, and I mean needs to improve right away. How crazy is it that people voted for someone whose policies have directly hurt their lives? I'm thinking about those in Pennsylvania who voted for Biden because he sounded like a sweet old man, but within the first couple hours of his presidency, he stopped the construction of the Keystone Pipeline. Now, not only are those workers out of a job, every American who owns a car or lawnmower has to pay extra at the pump. But hey, at least the orange man isn't saying mean things to reporters, right? Now, I would like to look at this argument from a different angle. Conservatives need someone who can represent this country, and all Americans need to have faith that we have a leader who represents the greatness of America through not only his or her policies, but their words and actions. I think that this has been seen through recent elections. I'm mostly talking about the election in Virginia, where Glenn Youngkin defeated the very liberal Terry McAuliffe. Youngkin ran on conservative values, which primarily were seen fighting against critical race theory and supporting parents and individual liberties. He is also a nice guy, which is also appealing to voters. I mean, that's what we all want, is someone who is nice and representing America, representing our country. Doesn't everyone want someone who they respect to lead them? The far right needs to go away, just as the far left needs to. The congressmen and women who are just borderline vulgar and think they are mini Trumps, but really they just go overboard on his rhetoric, need to be replaced by conservatives that pride themselves in representing the American dream. People like Tim Scott, Nikki Haley, Tom Cotton, and even Marco Rubio need to continue to lead this movement. Leaders like Joe Manchin and from the Democrat Party need to continue fighting against the borderline socialist movement that no American wants. I know that my quote unquote liberal friends don't even want that for our country. This change does involve some time, but more importantly, it involves your voice. If you are a Democrat through and through, a Democrat who loves the party of JFK, well, restore your party. Vote for someone who may be a Republican that aligns with your values, and hopefully, if they are smart, people will get the message and restore the great qualities of the Democratic Party. They will know when you're not voting them in, and they will change their policies that more align with yours. The administration that is running this country right now is obviously failing. Go look at gas prices and the prices of food and other items at the store. 33% of Americans approve of the president's job, so obviously our fellow Americans on the left aren't too happy. One thing that goes with this is the constant hatred that each side has for one another. People hear that you are a Democrat and they immediately think that you are a radical liberal. Same with people who say they are on the side that supports the right. People on the left immediately say they're in some cult that worships white supremacists. Like, what? I mean, isn't anyone else tired of this? I know I am. I'm mostly frustrated with the whole thing because I know that probably around 90%, if not more, of Americans love this country, love our beautiful flag, and our outstanding national anthem. We all love to do the same activities, and we especially recognize that this land of opportunity has done for us greater things than about anything else in our life. But instead of realizing this, we all buy into what the media throws at us. Instead of going after the radical people on both sides, we just ignore any politician with a label that differs from us, even if their policies and actions align with our own. The same goes for supporting these people that align with us that are radical. It's not making this country any better. This isn't what America is about. President John Adams said, "There is nothing which I dread so much as a division of the republic into two great parties, each arranged under its leader, and concerting measures in opposition to each other. This, in my humble apprehension, is too dreaded as the greatest political evil under our Constitution." When President Reagan won 525 electoral votes in 1984, that millions of people voted for him because he represented their personal values. And not only that, but that his policies provided them with the means to have a secure life, a life that they had dreamed of. And based on his historic 525 electoral votes, many lifelong Democrats voted for him. This shows that Americans didn't vote based on party, but on policy. This is America. This is a united country. I'm not sure that we will ever have another candidate that we can all rally behind, but I pray that we do. Until then, we have to make a statement that we will not have our lives controlled by far left and far right politicians, that we will uphold our American values and our vote will reflect that. We do not have the time to keep these people in office, and we definitely do not want to see our lives affected by their policies. This wraps up this week's episode of The Outspoken Patriot. Thanks for listening, and remember that here at The Outspoken Patriot, we want to hear from the everyday American, the patriots that keep this country great. So if you have anything to say or ask, please leave it in the comments. Who knows? Maybe your comment will open a discussion in our next episode. United we stand, divided we fall. We love this country too much, and we have sacrificed too much to see this great nation become unrecognizable. I believe in the American spirit. The question I'll leave with you all is, how will you protect the America you love?